Dear students, today's lecture is on training of leaders, lay and professional leaders. Introduction. Training is the process of acquiring specific skills to perform a job better. It helps people to become qualified and proficient in doing some jobs. Usually, an organization facilitates the employees' learning through training so that their modified behavior contributes to the attainment of the organization's goals and objectives. Van der Sel in 1962 defined training as the process of teaching, informing or educating people so that number one, they may become as well qualified as possible to do their jobs, and number two, they become qualified to perform in positions of greater difficulty and responsibility. Approaches to training. Rama, Itling and Bowen identified that there are three approaches to training. The traditional approach, number two, the experiential approach, and three, the performance-based approach. In the traditional approach, the training staff designs the objectives, contents, teaching techniques, assignments, lesson plans, motivation, tests, and evaluation. The focus in this model is intervention by the training staff. In the experiential approach, the trainer incorporates experiences wherein the learner becomes active and influences the training process. In this model, the objectives and other elements of training are jointly determined by the trainers and trainees. Trainers primarily serve as facilitators, catalysts, or resource persons. In the performance-based approach to training, goals are measured through attainment of a given level of proficiency instead of passing grades of the trainees. Emphasis is given to acquiring specific observable skills for a task. This performance-based teacher education (PBTE) model, developed by Elam in 1971, is mostly task or skill centered and is also applicable to non-formal educational organizations such as Extension. Types of training. Training may be broadly categorized into two types: pre-service training and in-service training. Pre-service training is more academic in nature and is offered by formal institutions following definite curricula and syllabuses for a certain duration to offer a formal degree or diploma. In-service training, on the other hand, is offered by the organization from time to time for development of skills and knowledge of the incumbents. Pre-service training. Pre-service training is a process through which individuals are made ready to enter a certain kind of professional job such as agriculture, medicine, or engineering. They have to attend regular classes in a formal institution and need to complete a definite curriculum and courses successfully to receive a formal degree or diploma. They are not entitled to get a professional job unless they can earn a certificate, diploma, or degree from the appropriate institution. Pre-service training contains emphasis mostly technical subject matter such as crops, animal husbandry, and fisheries, as well as pedagogical skills to prepare the students to work in agriculture. In general, two types of pre-service training are available for agricultural staff. These are, number one, degree level, at least a bachelor's degree in agriculture or related field, which is usually offered for 4 years by a university or agricultural college, and number two, diploma level, which is mostly offered by the schools of agriculture for a period of 2 to 3 years. The entry point for the former is normally 12 years of schooling, and for the latter 10 years of schooling. In-service training and staff development. In-service training is a process of staff development for the purpose of improving the performance of an incumbent holding a position with assigned job responsibilities. It promotes the professional growth of the individuals. In-service training is a problem-centered, learner-centered, and time-bound series of activities which provide the opportunity to develop a sense of purpose, broaden the perception of the clientele, and to increase the capacity to gain knowledge and mastery of techniques. In-service training may broadly be categorized into 5 different types. Number 1, induction or orientation training. Number 2, foundation training. Number 3, on-the-job training. Number 4, refresher or maintenance training. And number 5, career development training. All of these types of training are needed for the proper development of extension staff throughout their service life. Phases of training. Training is a circular process that begins with needs identification and after a number of steps ends with evaluation of the training activity. A change or deficiency in any step of the training process affects the whole system, and therefore it is important for the trainer to have a clear understanding about all phases and steps of the training process. In the broadest view, there are 3 phases of training process: planning, implementation, and evaluation. The planning phase encompasses several activities, 2 of which training needs identification and curriculum development. Once training needs have been identified and training activities have been decided as part of the solution, a needs analysis should be done to determine knowledge, skills, and attitude requirements and performance deficiencies. The needs analysis procedure involves breaking down the training problem into its basic parts in different successive phases to identify and understand the important components in each phase. Ultimately, it leads to identifying and understanding the training content. The training needs analysis process can be divided into 3 distinct analytical phases: job analysis, task analysis, and knowledge and skill gap analysis. The training needs analysis provide many things to a trainer. The analysis determine training contents and how deficient the trainees are in these contents, and the sequence of tasks provides the sequence of training activity. Training of village leaders. The task of developing villages cannot be achieved without trained democratic leaders with secular and social outlook. While potential leaders should be selected from the village communities concerned, they would require training to play enabling role. Training of potential leaders is essential for strengthening local initiative for development. This will accelerate implementation of ongoing efforts. Training, however, should not be taught as a one-sided affair. It would rather be a continuous process, although various levels of training may be designed. The goal of training consists of the following: to motivate local leaders to commit themselves for the cause of development, to create general awareness in them about the problems of villages, current approaches of development, national policy, organization, etc. To inculcate in them basic skills of communication and group work, to provide them knowledge and skills in technical subject matter area relevant to the program. Content area of leaders training. Theoretical information should always be related at every step to practical situations. The subject matter should be in the nature of problems encountered by the local leaders in their respective area. Hence, content of the program should be problem-centered. The United Nations reports on training of rural leaders presents the following general outline of content for the training of local leaders. Number 1. Basic principles and aims of rural development and the practical setup needed for effective rural development work. Number 2. Leadership in rural society. Number 3. Community organization principles, methods and techniques, including method of stimulating group thinking, group planning and group action. Number 4. Cooperative principles of cooperation and methods of organizing various types of cooperative enterprises and services. Number 5. Local government principles and methods with particular reference to coordination of local bodies. Number 6. Central government and other internal machinery services. What facilities are available and how local efforts can be coordinated with national program. Thus, the whole process of training is to make the lay or local leaders committed to the goal of development of the rural areas where they shall be working. Appointing them as leaders also carry the advantages of identifying first-hand problems related to rural areas and addressing the problems in a scientific manner. Finally, the whole basis behind training is to enable the local leaders equipped with knowledge and ability to take decisions. Training of professional leaders. The training of extension personnel contributes directly to the development of human resources within extension organizations. Stronger and Freeman opines, training programs are directed towards maintaining and improving current job performance, while development programs seek to develop skills for the future jobs. Training has to start with the identification of training needs through job analysis, performance appraisal, and organizational analysis. Once the training needs of extension personnel have been identified, the next step is to organize training programs. Lin and Parikh opines that methods such as games, role-playing, simulation exercises, and case study can be used in extension organizations to create learning situation based on experience. Training based on actual field experience should be emphasized. Emerging new farm technologies such as integrated pest management and improved practices in horticulture call for actual field experience. Hayward says that extension agents need training not only in the technological aspects but also in human relations, problem solving, sensitivity towards disadvantaged groups, and the basic concepts of management. Conclusion. Training of the leaders begins from the process of recruitment. Right candidates have to be selected through proper channels. Once recruitment is done, they have to be imparted training to bring about rural development. Significance of training lies in the fact that it is the process of acquiring specific skills to perform a job better. It helps people to become qualified and proficient in doing some jobs. While the objective of training is the same for both lay and professional leaders, the approach adopted differs in each situation as the educational and technical qualifications of the leaders in the two settings are different. Thank you.